He likes what we did.
He does.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. That's about as good as it's going to get.
I love it. It's perfect.
You expect more than that, and you're going to get let down. That's really on you.
What's that podcast? It's probably you.
Oh, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Funky Panther podcast, coming from Fort Worth, Texas. We've got another great episode for you tonight on episode 18.
Wow,
Man,
18.
We are coming along.
We're legal, baby.
Just barely legal on episode 18. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm Chad.
I'm Javier.
And I'm Tim.
And we are
the Funky Panther!
Happy 18th, guys.
Dude, I don't know about y'all, but like that intro just keeps getting smoother and smoother and smoother.
Yeah, I listened. I've been re-listening to the episodes, and I had Natasha listen. She's like questioning him. She was wanting to pay the $50 for Anthony to come on so we can feed him and make him drink.
Right.
And so she's like, "What?" She's like, "What episode?" She listened to the snacks on snacks on snacks.
That's a good one.
But we also talked about CBD in that episode, right?
Yeah, we did.
She's like, I had to cut it off. I couldn't listen to it. She's like, I was going to promote y'all, but I can't do that because I'm a teacher. Blah blah blah.
CBD's legal.
It's legal.
Yeah.
No, but I understand. But she's like, which episode should I listen to? And I'm like, do not listen to the first 10. Because I listened to the intro the first time. I'm like, it wasn't bad, but it was pretty shitty.
It wasn't even close to what we've got now.
Yeah.
I remember I just listened to the first couple episodes too, thinking like, hey, we're coming up on episode 20, which, good. We're looking into the future now. And yes, on episode 20, we're going to have a little bit of a kind of like look back to all of our previous episodes. But I was listening to episode 1. And it was funny because even going into the outro, we said the Funky Panther chant different than we said going into the episode.
Yeah, we did, didn't we?
And both of them are different than what we do now. Like we were so inconsistent.
Because we did it. We just started with the Funky Panther.
Yeah, there was no like intro music or like.
No, there was, right?
Man, we'd have to, you know what? We're going to go back and listen to it.
Yeah,
we'll all experience it on episode 20. So,
but there was no like intro music and some like banter back and forth before getting into it. We just started with yelling. Yeah. Like, of course, people aren't going to listen to us because we just start yelling right off the bat.
And it really was like, and we got to save this for episode 20. But I gotta say that that first episode, it was how many of us were there? There was 4.
There was 4 of us.
No. Me, you, Roy, Jesus.
No, Roy and Chase were not here. So it was just the 3 of us and Jesus on episode 1.
Roy,
on episode 2.
No, wait, Roy
episode
was
0.
There.
Episode 0, the pilot.
And we cut him.
The pilot was all of us.
Sorry,
Love you, Roy, but you were cut. Yeah, boy, you got cut.
Well, the way it all happened, too, was pretty funny and kind of mean. Well, I want to say, because
we record 3 episodes, and the third one's what took. The first 2 didn't work. He leaves, and we're like, we got to do one more.
Well, because we listened to it. He's like, I got to go, guys, and so we listened to the rest, and we're like, hey, let's just do a quick 30, bang one out, and.
Yeah, I mean, it was getting late. Like we had been recording for 3 or 4 hours at that point. We just kept like doing a horrible job of talking over each other, just like banter and laughing. And like when we're having conversation, it's funny, right? But when you're listening to it on a podcast and it's just like talking over talking, we realized that we just have to do a better job. And then Roy left because he had to work early the next morning. And then that 3rd or 4th episode that was, I say gold because compared to the first 3 or 4, it was gold. But compared to what we're doing now, it was just straight up garbage fire, really.
It's like if a skunk ate a pig, ate another bigger skunk, and shit it out, and then an aardvark came and ate it.
Is
that
like a shitty turducken?
Turducken, yeah.
Spur pigucken.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but episode 2, we actually did have Chase and Roy on, and that was, it was just 6 people on a podcast. I don't know who told us that was a great idea.
I don't think anybody did.
No, I think we just wanted to include everybody, man.
Okay, let's hold it off.
Okay.
Because that is so many things that we need to talk about in episode 20 in a reminiscing of our previous 19 episodes. But, I think that we need to get into a little bit more serious. And
I know where this is going.
Yeah, go ahead and cue that music, Tim. I mean, if you've listened to our last episode, you may have noticed a little something. It's a little bit different. Maybe a little awkward. And there's something that we just really need to say and get off our chest. And when I say we, it's really just Tim and Javier. So Tim, you want to go ahead and take this?
So I said a few things I'm not proud of. And by a few things, I actually said one word. And I said it quite just too much, really. And that was fire. It's fire. That shit is fire. Everything was fire in that last episode. And I will tell you, that's not me. That is not me. I don't say that. I actually don't even know what that means. I don't know what anything... If I'm saying something's fire, I have no idea what that means. I just thought it sounded good. And I'm nearly 35 years old. And I have no business saying any of that. But I will tell you that my co-host here, Javier, he said something way worse.
Hey guys, Javier here. Local podcaster? Local piece of shit, I don't know. So, I'm on the same boat with Tim. And there's something I did say that I'm not too proud of. And honestly, I think it's the first time I've ever said anything like that before. And that is, I fucks with that. I don't even know what that means. Like, am I physically fucking that? Do I fucks with it? Why isn't it proper English? Like, I fuck with... I don't even know what that means. I gotta honestly say that I don't fucks with anything. Anyways, I'm sorry for saying I fucks with that all the time. And the last episode kind of, I don't know. It was garbage. I'm sorry. Forgive me. This is my apology.
So with that said, I think we both apologize. Yeah. And moving forward, I can't promise you that there won't be any other awkward moments, but we will do our best to not bring those awkward moments to the podcast, because frankly, we are better than that.
Yeah. You know what, Tim? I fucks with that.
No, you just said
your apology was straight fire.
I hate you so much. I was just about to say, on behalf of the people, we accept your apology.
You just accepted it. Thank you.
Huzzah!
I take it back because you ruined it.
You can't take it back an apology.
You can't. Whenever it's in the universe, once you say it, it's out there.
It's on the cloud.
Well, I mean, I guess I can say I appreciate the apology, because going back and listening to that episode, I was like, why? What are they? I don't remember them saying that. Why are they saying it so much?
We're in our 30s. Why are you saying
Why is it back-to-back fire and I fucks with that? I don't even understand.
We're trying to be one with the Utes.
Yeah.
The Utes,
like the people of Utah? The Utes?
Utes.
I think I can help with this whole youth situation.
So... We
got
to experience something new today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. 2 new breweries in the greater DFW area. So not Fort Worth, and that's fine.
I thought you were going to say ass play or something.
We got to experience... Well, we've already experienced that.
We may have while we were there.
Explore your horizons.
Hey. But Brutal Beer Works.
Yeah.
Check them out over in North Richland Hills, and False Idol. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so someone on Facebook Instagram recently had posted something about False Idol Brewing, and it said local area, and I was very confused because usually I feel like I'm very caught up on the local scene, especially breweries, because
I feel like we were caught up on the local scene.
At one point, we knew every brewery in Texas and honestly, like the U.S. Like if there was a new brewery, we were already Googling it, figure out if their beers were good, seeing if we could trade someone online for their beers, for our beers. Yeah, but, there's been a while now since we've really kind of researched breweries. And all of a sudden, these 2 breweries in North Richland Hills, just right off of, what is that, Boulevard 26?
Yeah, 26, yeah.
Is it Highway or Boulevard 26?
Highway 26, Boulevard 26, whatever. Yeah, Boulevard.
Boulevard 26.
It's
I think I know with this Boulevard Highway situation.
Thank you for that. So yeah, there's 2 breweries. They're literally like within a mile of each other. Brutal Beer Works was the first place we went to.
Yeah.
They just opened apparently back up because COVID had a bunch of places shut down. And it wasn't until a week or so ago that breweries could open back up with food, right? And so I know I went to Hot Fusion last week.
Food is very like, I'm going to put that in quotes.
Right.
Because is there really food there? No.
Bag of pretzels?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think it all comes down to like what Joe was saying in like, 2 episodes ago, that like, do we need a license for that? I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
They made it work and they're back open. That's all that matters.
Right. Went to Hot Fusion Friday or Saturday, and they have Black Cat Pizza inside the brewery now, slinging pizzas and meatballs and salads and stuff. And so
might as well be slinging crack rock. So delicious and addictive.
Dude, so amazing. So good.
I'm fiending for it.
Yeah. And so Brutal Beer Works opened back up to the public today. They had some pizza. We didn't have any pizza, but we were just trying their beers. And they've got some like crazy awesome beers. Like they've got this sour that's called Gushers Sour.
Shout out to the, I want to say their inspiration, and I didn't get a chance to talk to them, but their inspiration had to be Gushers fucking candy. Like it had to be in those like fruit snacks. So
I feel like it's pretty obvious, right? Like what other Gushers do you know?
Pornhub.
Oh my God.
You said it. Javier didn't say it.
I didn't even think about it. Holy shit. What's wrong with me?
So, it was like was it passion fruit, pineapple?
Yeah, peach, something
pear,
like that.
or peach. Yeah, peach sour. But it was like so thick with like sour, just super delicious. Some hazy IPAs.
So thick and meaty.
Oh,
God.
I'm losing my fucking edge.
Tim's taking your edge, bro. Like, what is going on?
Give me a few beers and I become Javier.
I got to tell the doctor to knock my dose down 25 milligrams.
All right. So, yeah, great beers. They had like 12 things on tap. What I really liked about the brewery, though, is that they have got like a pretty good online store presence to where instead of just going online and buying like a 12-pack or 6-pack or even 4-pack, you can buy individual cans. And so you can go and try like all of their 12 beers by just getting like 3-4-packs, really.
Yeah, like most of the breweries, they want to sell you a 4 or 6-pack or whatever whenever it comes to cans, and that's fine. But like Chad and I were talking about this on the way out there, like if you have maybe one beer that you like, but it's not like I love this beer, I want to drink 4 of them in a row. You're less likely to buy that 4-pack. Whereas what Brutal's doing, just buying that one, like I do like it. But I also want to try these other ones too, and I don't necessarily want to commit to one 4-pack. It's perfect, and I think more places, if y'all are listening, any breweries in the Fort Worth area that are listening, y'all need to do this.
None of them are listening to us.
How about what's his name at Tups?
Oh yeah,
Tups McKinney.
Yeah, what's up, James? You listen to us or what?
I'm gonna go cut me some balls off a bowl.
Well,
I don't know.
Shout out back
stop
to
drinking. Stop.
Tubbs McKinney back in the
shout out back to the Tups McKinney.
Oh, call back to Tups McKinney.
Yeah. I mean, like the pretty cool online little store. So you can go in and just buy like individual cans to see if you like them, because these 16-ounce cans, and like a lot of them nowadays are like 8-9%. So you drink like a 16-ounce can and you're
fucked.
We know, because we went to 2 breweries earlier and we're like, dang man, I don't remember having a buzz off some beers for a while now.
Well, but we also haven't been to breweries in quite some time.
That's a really good point. So we went over from Brutal Beer Works, which really cool spot. They played nothing but like hard rock and metal and good beers on tap, and even better beer to go.
Cool artwork.
Yeah, the walls were covered with some really cool artwork. We shout them out on our Instagram, and then also what was the False Idol was the second one we went to, right down the road. Equally as good beer, some really cool stuff on tap, IPA style, some sours, much bigger spot.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed bigger production facility. They're putting out, I think, more quantity.
Yeah.
And what's cool is right down the road. I mean, not that far. Like probably, I would say probably like maybe 5-10 minutes down the road is Turning Point.
Yeah.
So you got
3 breweries really close.
Right there in North Richland Hills. And like, I had no idea, and I had no reason to go to North Richland Hills until now. Yeah. So awesome work, guys. All
right. So out of the 2 breweries we went to tonight, what was your favorite of the 2?
Oh man.
Put you on the spot.
So I liked, the peach, beer that I had from Brutal. That was, it started with an S. I can't remember. I'm sorry. But that
Solitude?
Was Solitude.
I think, yeah.
That's the one I was talking about.
Yeah.
That's the one I was talking about.
That one was good. Now, between the 2, I think from what I had at the breweries, I think False Idol had more consistent like flavors. It ended up, it just tasted a little bit better. But they're not going for that sour fruited stuff so much as what it seems like Brutal is. So two different, clearly two different breweries. But I think I like Fall Side a little bit better.
That's cool. I like Brutal better. So
all right,
we'll sword fight later in the bathroom.
I'm gonna win.
Disgusting. Wait, what?
Yeah. So this week has been kind of busy, right? Like we've got a lot of stuff going on.
It was. Last weekend was extremely busy.
Yeah.
I had the entire holiday weekend, right? Was that what last
Labor
week?
Day. Yeah,
Labor Day weekend. Labor Day weekend was extremely busy. So starting from Friday, ending on Sunday, wedding stuff. Man, we one of our good friends, close friends that we've known for a very long time, married his sweetheart in the midst of COVID.
Yeah, this is the first COVID wedding. And honestly, it's the first wedding I've been to in a while, but like first COVID wedding for sure we've been to. What did y'all think?
I think I personally would have put off my wedding during COVID, but that's just me. Like, I don't want people having to wear masks and cut down my numbers and all that stuff. So I think I would put it off. But when true love can't wait. So
yeah,
they made the best of it. I really, I think.
Also, deposits aren't returnable, I'm sure. So
That's a really good point. So. It's easy to say I would have waited, but once you already booked it, like
love can wait. Love can wait, but deposits can't either. So yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. The mimosa bar is cool. The cochinita pibil, they had. That was delicious, dude.
So
but let's talk about the highlight.
Oh,
it wasn't Chase getting married.
It was the mimosa bar.
It wasn't the mimosa bar.
What?
It was Rowdy. Coming out.
Roddy Piper, like the wrestler.
No, Rowdy from the Cowboys showed up. It was so fucking cool.
It was so bomb.
Did not know it was going to happen. Chase didn't know it was going to happen. Dare planned it all, which is cool. And out comes fucking Rowdy, and everybody I'm just shocked,
dude. I lost my shit. I was
if you don't know who Rowdy is, he's the Dallas Cowboys mascot.
Yeah.
Dude comes up in the middle of the entire reception, just pops up with music blaring, dancing, going nuts, getting people out of the crowd.
Who was the first one to go out in the crowd? Jesse,
dude,
yeah.
Jesse got down,
man. Jesse,
I was yelling, I was clapping. Yeah. I have never seen
getting it.
Jesse.
So here's the thing: is I think when Rowdy shows up, you have to do what Rowdy says.
You have no choice,
dude. I honestly thought her and Rowdy had they planned this. It felt like they were just
backstage love.
I did feel there was a connection between the two.
Sorry, Tim.
That's fine.
She's in love with the mascot.
She likes bigger-headed men.
Yeah. Well.
Penis joke.
Oh my gosh. Your hat's not big enough is the deal.
Dude, I have a huge head though.
Hat.
I have a huge hat.
Dude, that was really fun. That was really cool. The dancing, everybody was going crazy. Chase's grandma got up and started dancing too.
So
not to mention the two locations, right? The wedding was at TCU, so a good local. Yeah. I mean, if you haven't had or been to or had a wedding,
shout out to a Big 12 school.
Yeah, TCU here in the local Fort Worth area. They've got a couple of churches on location, right?
Yeah, I guess some chapel. I mean, because they've got
chapels, churches.
Well, it's a Christian college or Texas Christian University, right?
Yeah.
But they have the Bright Divinity School, which I think that chapel is part of. So.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Really, really pretty chapel. They had great music. I mean, we all wore masks when we weren't walking up or standing up or whatever. But otherwise, it really was a beautiful wedding. And then the reception was at
the Ashen Depot.
Yeah.
And the Ashen Depot is pretty badass. It's this cool venue spot over by the train station in downtown Fort Worth. Intermodal. It's a
not TNP.
Yeah, not TNP, but
the
it's
one right before TNP. Yeah.
Anyways, it's this old school train station, train depot that they converted into this venue, and I mean it's beautiful in there. So I mean you really couldn't have picked a better spot to have a great reception. So
there's a lot of space,
especially with them kind of taking down the amount of people that are going to be at the wedding. I
can't imagine
250 people from
but if you had imagine 400 people, I think it would be a little bit overcrowded, but the amount that was there was, I think, was perfect.
Spot on.
Yeah.
Spot on.
And it was kind of early, so the wedding was at 10:30 a.m. and then the reception started at noon, and so it was kind of like a brunch reception. And so they had, all the food was really good, but they had mimosas, like all these different orange juice and passion fruit and pomegranate, all that kind of stuff for mimosas and
bottomless mimosas. And you know what? I tried that bottomless. I went as much as I could.
He took his pants off. He went completely bottomless.
I started jacketing in the corner.
Oh, whoa! Didn't catch that part.
Okay,
Man, Rowdy was
didn't
over
happen.
there.
But yeah.
Yeah, I think I probably had at least a bottle of champagne total because I was just like double fisting those mimosas.
Courtney did a good job with getting.
She taught you a little something, didn't she?
Got the 2 glasses and put it in that water glass. And Danny, props to Danny. Danny got a good wife. Got a good wife with a good head on her.
Well,
decent
decent
at best. If Courtney, you listen to this.
Don't
get
a big head. Don't get a big head, Courtney.
The kid's not there, so mama's gonna play, right?
Yeah. I told I was talking about Rowdy with Anthony and Natasha, and I was like, at that point, I'm like, yeah, she's the coolest wife, and she just gave me this death stare.
I'm sure she did.
She's like, what'd you say? And I was like, oh, no, just because Rowdy. She's like, all right, fuck you. Like, I see how it is,
So Jesse was like, that was that's really cool. It's like a big thing. Like, who would you want? And I was like, well, Mavs man.
Oh God, that's too much energy right there.
It's too much energy, but I think that'd be awesome. Like Mavs man would be fucking cool.
He does have to bring like a trampoline, and he does have to bring like a hoop or something, because it's his shtick.
I know, but you act like that's a problem.
No, I think it's a great thing to have. I would love the I would love Mavs man.
Bring a trampoline and a hoop and a basketball, and let's let Mavs man have at it. That'd be so cool.
I would like Champ.
Yeah,
champ. Dallas Mavericks champ.
Rowdy was pretty cool though.
Rowdy was great.
He was like picking up people that you wouldn't think would get up and dance. He just like was really good at selecting people that you just knew would not normally get up and dance. I mean, Jesse was one of them, but it was like all sorts of people and some like older ladies and just like guys that looked like they weren't into it. Just everyone was on the dance floor, and it was a good scene.
So I got to tell this. So Chase's grandma comes up to me.
Yeah.
All the music's going, and she walks up to me, and she's like, you Chase's friend? And I was like, yeah, I've known Chase for, a long time and whatever. And she says, did you ever think he was going to get married? I said, I looked her square in the eye, and I said, no. And she said, neither did we.
No one did.
Yeah.
That's love right there. That's love.
I know. So, and Maria, I'm sure, she said the same thing at, Chase's mom said the same thing at the rehearsal dinner. Yeah.
Yeah, and I made sure to recap that in the speech.
Yeah, it was a good speech.
That was a great speech, man.
I mean, I think I could have done better, but
I highly doubt it, though.
I do appreciate the intro to the podcast that you used.
True. I was like, it's a fucking Panther. It's a fucking Panther.
Oh, hello everyone, and welcome to the roast of Chase Martinez. And everyone's like, oh snap!
We should have got them to do the Funky Panther intro music.
Yeah, that would have been pretty legit.
That would have been good.
But that DJ sucked. Remember?
Yeah. I thought the DJ was good.
I thought the DJ was great.
He was good.
But there's a couple of like good inside jokes, like the whole cheese deal from the bachelor party and a couple other things. And, if you don't know Chase, which you probably don't, we like to travel and go places. And we used to go to Austin all the time. And one thing that you could always count on with Chase is like getting lost in the middle of the night because he just had, I say one too many drinks, but really that's one or two drinks.
One or two
drinks, and that's one or too many for Chase. And
give him Ziegenbach, and he's done.
Yeah, he gone. And when you can't find him, you could just pretty much count on that he'd be at the most local pizza place, like within walking distance pizza place. He'd be there on the curb, just kind of sitting there eating a slice of pizza, and that was in the speech too. But that's pretty normal.
So we had a COVID wedding.
Yeah.
And here recently, now we've gone into fucking COVID in movie theaters.
Hey, I want to go ahead and stop you real quick.
Stop me real quick.
Because you mentioned this Solitude with Peaches from Brutal Beer Works. I'm going to go ahead and snap this off on the mic.
Snap it off, baby. Damn, though, dude. Not the first time, not the last.
Sprayed all over me. All right, now you can continue. Give me your cup, and then you can continue with the
I'm not finished my beer yet, so you go ahead and pour yours, and I'll pour some left.
All right, we'll go ahead with the COVID deal.
All right, so COVID in movie theaters. Recently in Texas, we started opening up movie theaters again. And we have all seen, we all went to see Tenet. I went and saw it at a different time, but y'all two saw it.
We
we
saw it together. Yeah.
And
Holding hands.
But movie tavern,
dips.
right?
Yeah.
Movie Tavern. Yeah. They had a special going on, $5 movies on Tuesday.
Yeah, it was before it actually came out. Like it was like an early preview.
Yeah.
But what is it called? Pro. I'm trying to throw pro tip. There we go. Pro tip.
Pro tip.
What do you
Pro
kids say? The pro tip.
Is that what it's called?
Little pro tip: if you live in the DFW area, or if you have a movie tavern near you, Tuesdays are $5 for a movie, and you get free popcorn.
Free popcorn. Everybody love free popcorn.
And they don't say that. There's no free popcorn theme song. All right, continue.
But we
Continue,
went,
Javier.
I was just going to say that, like, so I went on Saturday night, and it was kind of a date
Loser.
night. No, it was great. I didn't see it with you guys, but it was nice to actually go on a fucking date, you
Yeah.
know, and like, you know, dinner, movie, popcorn, all that fun stuff at the theater. And that's something we've been missing for a little while.
You think you're better than us? Like we had a good date.
Yeah, we had popcorn.
We had popcorn. It was free. We had $5 movie tickets. We held hands. It was a date.
What more can we say?
What makes
the
you
best
better
date in
than us?
history. You think you're better than us?
Do you think you're better than us?
Fuck you.
You know
I'm telling you
Hang
what,
on.
that's not fire.
No, that's I don't fucks with that.
I would like to take this time to apologize. I did not mean to offend Javier and Chad and make them think that I was better than them.
Are you just gonna have this music on cue
I think so.
all the time?
I think so.
I feel like you're gonna apologize a lot.
Chad,
Because you say a lot
apology,
of-
Chad.
You say a lot of stupid shit.
But going forward, it was nice to just have that date night with your significant other that has been I feel like it had been kind of missing.
Well,
So,
I mean, it's like the first, with other things that are opening back up, this was the first major movie release you can say this summer. I mean, it really was. Everything was like video on demand, straight.
And it was highly anticipated.
Yeah,
Everyone
it's-
wanted to see this movie.
Every Christopher Nolan movie, it's the same. You wait years for it to come out. You don't know a thing about the plot because we went in knowing nothing.
Yeah.
I saw trailers because I just have to see.
I didn't even watch a single trailer.
But-
I just wanted to go see it because everyone's been you've been talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we went to go see it. I knew zero things about that movie.
Well, every Chris Nolan movie is intricate in time. Like
and this
like,
one was very intricate.
yeah, you have to pay attention. And I went in knowing from start to finish, pay attention to every bit that you can. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
I fucks with it.
God. Start the music. No, I'm just joking. So yeah, and I watched it the first time with Javier, and we left the movie, and I was like, I didn't like it. Javier's like, what didn't you like about
You
it?
didn't like it the first time?
And I was like, I don't understand. There's so many questions that I have. Like it's hard to it's hard to like
Yeah.
a movie that you have so many questions about. And I had so many questions. Luckily, Javier knew what he was getting himself into, and apparently is smarter than me. So he was able to answer.
College Bowl.
He was able to answer some questions that I had. But even then, like it wasn't until I literally watched it again last night with Chase, and so much more made sense because
Yeah.
I could anticipate those kind of like backwards and forwards situations.
Spoiler
Look,
alert.
that's all I said. Backwards and forward situation. That means nothing to
Let
these
me
people.
let me just tell you that after the movie was over, I looked at Jessie and I said, "Did you understand anything that was going on in that movie?" And she looked at me and said, "No." And I said, "Thank God," because I felt like I was an idiot. I did catch on like further on into the movie. I kind of understood it, but like 100%, like I'm gonna have to go back and watch that because again, I went in not knowing anything about the movie, knowing that like just loosely like you got to save the world kind of deal. Like it's that kind of movie. And there's just so much more to it that I had no idea.
It's definitely worth watching twice. I will say that. I
Dude,
think that
even maybe
there's-
like 3 times, you know.
Yeah, I feel like I could still. watch it again because I still have questions.
Well, fun fact, I'm sure people have seen this scene in the trailers. There's a trailer scene where 747, or is the 747 going through a building?
I think so. Yeah, it's a big plane.
Yeah. So it was cheaper to buy a 747 and crash it than it was to do like CGI work on it.
That's insane.
It's nuts. Also,
who would have thought?
Yeah.
Chris Nolan has been using Hans Zimmer for a lot of his soundtracks. This time he used Ludwig Göransson, who did Black Panther, Creed 2. He's been doing a lot of Marvel soundtracks. And it was really hard because COVID struck whenever they were making the soundtrack.
Yeah.
And so everybody had to record their parts like at home and send it. So it's pretty sick.
The only thing I would say about Tenet is that, like, looking back at Inception, I feel like Inception did a really good job of explaining how things work, right? Like, you knew that it's a dream within a dream and how you come out of it and how you go into it, all within what
I've never seen Inception, so you just ruined the whole thing for me.
Shut up.
Oh, God, I thought it was serious.
It's so stupid. Within the first 15 or 20 minutes, you understand at least the concept. So the rest of the movie is still kind of mind-blowing because of the situations they're in, but at least you understand how and why they got to the place that they're in.
This one, you're like, what the fuck?
There is no explanation in Tenet.
You're done with the movie. And
There's
you're
like small tidbits of like, oh, this is how it works, and this is how it works throughout the entire movie. And so even at the end, you're like, well, how though? What?
Bring a notepad and a pen and take notes, and then you'll understand it maybe.
His last movie made a lot of sense, but it was Dunkirk. That one made a lot of sense.
Yeah, I still haven't seen that one.
Dunkirk? It's not bad. It's pretty good. I enjoyed it a lot.
We saw a movie in a theater.
Mm-hmm.
Did you end up getting Mulan?
I haven't. I honestly haven't had time. I did get Bill and Ted though.
Yeah, same with me. I actually watched. So I went ahead. They had a deal on. I used Xbox and I bought it through the Microsoft Store, or whatever. They had a deal where I got Bill and Ted, Excellent Adventure, Bogus Journey, and Face the Music. So I got all three.
I love Bogus Journey.
So I like the first one. Bogus Journey's good, but I grew up watching just like the first one over
Excellent
and over
Adventure,
again. Yeah. So I ended up watching, the first one and the second one. I made Jesse watch it. She hated both of them.
It just got me thinking. Cody, our friend Cody, does a podcast. Why Was This Ever Cool?
Yeah.
And he did Bill and Ted, and then he was talking about like they called Socrates Socrates.
Socrates, yeah.
And like it was just all this stupid funny shit that they were just doing.
So what I thought was funny in the second one, so Bogus Journey, they have Station.
Yeah.
And they said Station in the new one, right?
Cuddy.
Yeah, and so the new one, like, it really focuses more on their kids.
Yeah.
But it was cool. So I'd heard like I heard people talk about, could Keanu Reeves like separate himself from the John Wick series and all that stuff? Yeah, he did a great job becoming that part again.
You mean in Bill and Ted, he didn't just go off and murder everybody?
He did not. No, he didn't go off and murder anybody. He acted just like Ted Theodore Logan. And, it was... I enjoyed it for what it was. I'm not going to say it was a good movie. It was not a good movie. But growing up in that nostalgic kind of feel of Bill and Ted and growing up in that time frame, and then listening to it and watching it and all that stuff and watching this one, it was, I enjoyed it. It was an enjoyable movie for me because it just brought me back to my childhood.
Love it.
My whole deal is I haven't watched it yet because I need to make sure that I've got the time to watch the first ones. You know what I mean? And so it's not like I could just jump into it because I feel like I need to get my mind right because it's been so long since I've seen the first.
But here's my issue, because I said this in a couple of podcasts back. I didn't want to spend money on a movie, like pay that much money for
How much was it?
So I spent like $20-something or $30 or whatever, but I got 3 movies.
Pocket change.
I got 3 movies, so that's cool.
Versus Mulan, which was $30 for one movie.
Yeah. But here's the deal: like when I'm watching movies at home, I'm on my phone. I'm doing other things. It's not necessarily background noise, but I'm doing multiple things. When I was at Tenet, I'm sitting there watching that fucking movie. Like I'm not on my phone. I don't have the other added distractions, and I can only imagine had that only been released at home, I wouldn't have known like anything that was going on in Tenet because I would have been so distracted. So it was good that I saw it in theater versus renting it or buying it or whatever and watching it at home. So
Yeah. There is some benefits though, right? Like to watching these things at home. Like it's still, I know we've talked about it before, but like it's nice to have that ability to be in the comfort of your own home, make your own popcorn, like drink some drinks and like watch a movie for like a decent price. Cause even, we went to the movie for $5 a piece. What'd you spend? Like $10 a piece or something ish?
Yeah. It was probably like $10 a piece for the movie. And then food was another, $30 or whatever. So yeah.
Yeah. So you spend $30-$40 total. And then, what's $20 at home when you can like make yourself a steak or something?
I understand that, but I feel again I'm going to be more apt to just focusing solely on the movie versus that. So I think for like new releases, things like that, I prefer going to actual theater, and I don't mind spending the money for that because I'm gonna get a little bit more out of it than what I would. But if I'm able to buy the movie for like $30 or whatever, well, I can watch it multiple times. So it does have its trade-offs. It really does.
Well, I have this nice 75-inch screen and this Bose sound system.
Welcome to the movie theater. Put your phone in the bag, and then we're going to watch a movie here.
And bring this lube with you.
That would be...
What kind of theater is this?
I think
This is like a fun theater.
The Javier Theater.
This would...
big boy theater.
That would be a fun thing to do, though. Like...
What would be fun?
All right. Hear me out.
What would be fun about this?
Hear me out.
You ever had sex during a movie, boy? You want to squeal like a piggy? Is that too much?
Yeah, of course it
The
is.
Jerry Jonestown Massacre scoffs at you.
Yeah, that was not nearly as bad as that one.
Yeah,
but,
shout out to those guys.
Shout out to those
You
guys,
approach
man.
that level sometimes. Yeah.
7 years, 300 something episodes.
Props to
They're
y'all, man.
just
Props to
killing it
y'all.
here in Fort Worth. But back on topic though,
Squeal.
we could have a movie night where we have to put our phones separate. We can't have them on us. We gotta put them away. You can't bring them out. Or we could do something where is if someone catches you with your phone out, and you got to drink. You got to slam a.
I love that idea.
Or you get punched in the dick.
Well, let's just drink.
Well, I don't want to get punched in the dick.
Yeah, I'd rather just drink a beer.
I want to get punched in the dick.
Well, are we? Well, for OnlyFans.
Start that music. I just want to apologize.
But for real, like, I mean, that'd be a fun thing to do. We could all get together, watch a movie, put our phones up. If you get caught with your phone out, then you have to chug a Smirnoff or something.
Ooh.
Dude, no, that's a fucking awesome idea.
I think so. I agree. I completely agree.
Because it's like going to like restaurants, and you lose things to talk about, and what happens? People pick up their phones and start, fucking around with it or whatever. Or actually, they don't lose things to talk about. They just pick up their phone and start messing with it. So, and I've seen some like drink cups or whatever that's cut out to where you set your phone on there, and if you don't have your phone underneath the cup, then the cup's going to fall over, kind of deal.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Huh. Like it's all about trying to disengage yourself from that device in your hand and actually focus on like what's going on now, which is cool. Like, you recently watched that whole social movie.
Oh yeah, the social dilemma.
Yeah.
Right.
And I feel like that I haven't seen it yet, but judging by what you've said, like, if we can disconnect ourselves, like maybe we'll have better, relationships with each other, friends, family, whatever. So.
Right. Before we talk about that, because I'm sure we're going to talk about that a little bit, Tab and I had a conversation recently about like how, of course, we do the same thing you just talked about. Like if you're watching a show, you're watching a movie, you're likely to have your phone in your hand.
Yeah.
And you're like multitasking because what's the point? Everything's background noise at this point in our lives. Like we have zero focus on literally anything.
When did that happen though? That's the question. Like when did that actually become a thing?
I can't remember.
Social media. When we were able to have everything and anything in the palm of our hands, nothing else matters because as soon as you think like, I wonder who writes that or I wonder who made this, Google it. You got the fucking answer in like 5 seconds. Yep. And so like we've just become accustomed to having all the answers in our hand. And even at that point, shows that we used to be like tuned into, just like 100% attention into a show mean nothing. Like they're meaningless because we need both of these things in our faces in order to like make sure that we've got our attention.
So what you're saying is much like our podcast, everything's just background noise.
Exactly. But I will say that something that Tab and I were talking about the other day is like, we watch TV or shows or movies or whatever, and we still have our phones in our hand and we know it. It's not like either one of us give a shit if we're going to be like multitasking. But But I do think that more so now than ever, I have my phone in my pocket when we're in a restaurant or a brewery or something like that, because I've become so like needing that social interaction throughout COVID that like when we were today at the breweries, you know what I mean? Like we went to 2 different breweries. We were hanging out for like 3 hours. I don't think I brought out my phone once except for to take a picture of the beer.
Like I texted a couple of times, but for the most part, I had my phone on the table face down because I didn't want that distraction of my screen lighting up. I just take it out of my pocket because it annoys me. If it starts vibrating in my pocket, then I'm gonna pull it out. So
yeah. I will say that's one benefit of this whole COVID deal, right? Like, do you? What do you think, Javier? Do you think that you feel like more, you're not going to have your phone out when you're out with people?
I think he was more concerned with me just pulling stuff out.
Yeah, I was just waiting for somebody to say something. No, I completely agree. I mean, see, whenever everything started shutting down, we kind of yearned for that, like, social, see what's going on. Like, I wanted to see what my friends were doing, and I think after the second week, we started doing the Zoom drinking parties, and stuff like that. So we yearned for connection.
Are we alcoholics if we're doing Zoom drinking parties?
or house party? We were doing house party house pretty party, regularly. Yeah.
But I mean, like you had no connection with people because you're away from everybody, and understandably so. But I mean, even now it's going to be different. Everybody started to go out more, and I understand that how you said you hadn't had so many. You hadn't had your phone out just to take a picture. I mean, that speaks volumes. I mean, it's just natural for us to want to be out, and I'm sure whenever everybody else starts going out more, then it's going to be less social media unless you want to take a picture of your food and be like some kind of weird dick or something. Yeah. Chad.
Jesus, dude. That's exactly what I do.
Rude. Kidding, bud. I love you, man.
Yeah, I definitely see, the fact that we put our phones away when we're around each other a lot more. Like, I mean, we don't get the opportunity nearly as much as we used to be with each other, that we're definitely cherishing it more.
Absolutely.
Which I think is a huge, one of the very few benefits of this entire 6-7 month COVID situation is that we cherish, hopefully you also cherish the fact that you're, if and when you are with people you care about, you cherish that opportunity a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So
preach it, brother. I fucks with that.
So dumb. So yeah. So I did watch a documentary on Netflix called The Social Dilemma. Crazy. Really? I mean, there's a couple of documentaries out there on Netflix that talk about, like social media and how there's advertising kind of swaying politically, kind of this like, this bias between left and right, blue and red, all that kind of stuff. But The Social Dilemma does a really good job of not having any kind of bias and literally just giving you the facts of how social media is, has over the time been able to go in, kind of make a picture of you, like your likes, your dislikes, what you do, what you don't do, all of these things in order to make like this picture of you, Tim, as a person and you, Javier, as a person and what you like and don't like, to where they can actually pinpoint different advertisements for things that you would like. Right. And I think it's crazy, but it's so true. Like how many times have we said like, I want to go get a backpack. And then all of a sudden all these backpack promos pop up.
But let me ask you, what is Wish doing? Because, like, I've gotten a bunch of butt plug ads. And I can promise you, like, from my knowledge, I have not typed in butt plug at all or said butt plug.
So, little FYI, and this is probably the first time you're hearing about this. I sneak into your home. I know how to get into your house. And I whisper butt plug 100 times in your ear, and your phone charges right next to your face, right when you go to sleep.
Subconsciously, I'm either saying it or you're whispering.
I whisper butt plug in your ear 100 times every night. Like that's just become something that I do.
It sounds plausible.
It's not something that I love doing. I just know that it's going to make a huge impact in your life.
I wouldn't put it past you. But also, one thing I have noticed is like, you and Zeus that kept getting the ads for like the separation of your balls underwear.
I started getting those now too because I was like, "What the fuck are what are you talking? Like you're meeting a hole or you're
I don't
elephant
know, man.
Like an elephant
dick
trunk
goes through a hole, balls are in a separate pocket.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
It's weird. As soon as you text it, or if someone around you on the same network is looking up something, all of a sudden it's something that pops up as your advertisement. Like, it is pretty creepy. But regardless, it's definitely a good documentary to check out. Just if anything, right? Like, if absolutely anything you take away from it, just knowing that you need to be mindful about your screen time and about how much time you allow yourself. Like, social media is not a bad thing. I'm not going to say it is, because it could be a very positive tool to connect with your friends and your family and the people around you. But it's become this program that is able to monetize the things that we do. And then, like, politically driven, it can also be a problem. But, like, you just got to make sure that you're mindful of the amount of time that you spend on it and how much you allow it to impact you, because there's also people that compare themselves to other people on social media when who cares? Like, no one cared 50 years ago. Social media didn't exist.
Everybody puts up a fake front. You know, like my front on facial media.
Total facial LaFleur.
On social media is probably different than what I actually am in real life. So,
well, I've never actually seen you smile except for social media. So, yeah, there's a difference.
I'm usually a very unhappy person, and I only smile for social media.
Yeah, unlike Mike the Bike, who only makes like what is it?
The Joker?
If he's got
blue
sunglasses,
steel.
if he's got sunglasses on, he doesn't smile.
Right, it's just straight up blue steel.
God damn it.
In every picture.
But okay.
Michael
so,
Paul, damn you.
Moving past social media.
Yeah.
Recently, I had a chance to interview someone very profound.
Who was profound?
Well, I thought his name was Jesus.
Oh my gosh!
But it turns out you'll hear. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this for you.
I swear to God, if it's Jesus.
And now, questions with Jesus.
It's actually Jesus.
First off, I'd like to apologize for saying your name wrong this entire time. I swear, I thought it was pronounced Jesus. So, Jesus, we have a few questions for you. And the first one that our listeners would like to know is, where do stars come from?
I believe that stars are actually accumulated by your dreams and everything you ever hoped to be, but they died out because you're a failure and you don't follow through.
Wow. You are extremely profound, and I can tell that a lot of this has come from you moving to Egypt recently. But, oh my gosh, I felt like it was directed towards me. I guess I'm going to have to step my game up and do a little bit better and follow through with more things. So moving on to our next question. What's the one thing that someone shouldn't live without?
My belief is one shall never go without a bidet. It cleans, it refreshes, it awakens the soul on a cold winter morning.
The whole soul?
The bowl, dude.
Bidets.
The soul?
Really, out of all the things that someone could live without or shouldn't live without, you're going to go with bidets. All right, guys, you heard it here first on the Funky Panther podcast that Jesus says you shouldn't live without bidets. So Jesus,
It's Jesus.
okay, whatever. Does a person's name influence the kind of person that they are to become?
I'm sorry. The question one more time.
Does a person's name influence the type of person that they become?
Let's read that question one more time, but in a more natural way.
What in the world is going on?
Does a person's name influence the type of person that they become?
Like a total chat.
I hope that was good. So can you just answer the question, please?
My belief, if I may, is that a person's name does influence 100% who they become. Because if your name is Dalton, 100% of the time, you are a piece of shit. So any Daltons out there hearing this right now, your name has molded you into the piece of shit that you are, Dalton. And that is not your fault. It is your parents' fault for naming you Dalton.
The Funky Panther podcast would like to remind all the listeners that the views expressed by Jesus during the Questions with Jesus segment do not actually directly represent the views or beliefs of the Funky Panther podcast. So if your name is Dalton, I do apologize on behalf of the Funky Panthers, and we will deal with this in a just and swift manner.
These are Questions with Jesus. Thank you for all for tuning in.
And now back to our regular scheduled program. Thank God that's over.
So on the real, Dalton's kind of...
What'd that say? This fucking interview?
It said this fucking interview is the worst one I've ever done.
That was great, bro.
You did a great job with that. Jesus was awful, but you did.
Yeah, so it was nice to actually have Zeus back, back with us doing questions with. I'm sorry, Jesus, not Jesus. So it was a nice segment. I don't want to bring this every episode kind of deal, but if you got some questions, let's pass them on to Jesus, and he'll record them, and we'll feature them, maybe in a episode or two.
Yeah, so if you do have a question for Jesus, go ahead and send us a message on any of our social media accounts. On all of them, it's going to be at the Funky Panther. So send us a message. If you happen to know us personally, go ahead and send us a text message. We'll add it to the queue. We'll make sure that Jesus or Jesus, well, I don't even know at this point. We'll make sure that he, the one, gets the questions.
The profound one.
The profound one gets the questions so that your question is answered.
Yeah, perfect. So the state fair.
Oh, yeah. So normally, right now,
yeah,
we'd be at the state fair. Like
the world famous Texas State Fair.
Wait a second. Would we actually be at the state fair right now? I mean, it is 10:27 at night, and do you think we'd actually be there?
On a Wednesday night? More than likely not. But during this time frame, right, like within the next month or so, we would likely make a stop at the state fair, right?
Yeah. Try one of the random fried foods.
What's your favorite one that you've ever had at the Texas State Fair?
Okay, I got two.
Okay.
Fried bacon.
Ooh,
And I know what the second one is.
dude, that one was
What's
good.
the second one?
Fried pussy.
They don't have that at the state fair, and I don't know if I really want to try that.
Bet they don't have it.
I would know. No, the fried butter. It tasted like it's just like it's butter in a.
It's like a pocket
in a dough, and so it was like a really like highly buttered roll.
Yeah,
it was delicious.
sounds
I tried the fried bubble gum, and it tasted like fried Pepto-Bismol.
Ew.
Not good.
What about you, Javier? What are your favorite fried foods at Texas State Fair?
It's always the corny dog, man. The
Fletcher's
Fletcher's
corny dog.
corn dog is just my favorite end all be all. Like,
yeah.
And wait a second, we had Fletcher's corny dogs tonight, and how did we have those?
Well,
Just straight magic. That's it. Moving on.
Golden Chick has Fletcher's corny dogs and State Fair funnel cake. So FYI, just go to Golden Chick. It's going to cost you $5 for a corny dog, which
Holy shit. $5 for a corn dog, which is, were you about to say it's about the same price as State Fair?
it's about the same price. Well,
Yeah.
okay, the State Fair gets you because you pay with tickets and you don't know
True.
exactly how much you're spending.
True.
But yeah, probably about $5 a corn dog.
Yeah, but Golden Chick has got $2 funnel cakes, but $5 corn dogs, which and they're all worth it. Don't get me wrong.
But no. Is it really worth $5 though?
I mean, you can get a bunch of like frozen corn dogs for that price, I think.
I mean, Sonic has got them for like $1 usually.
True.
I would say Fletcher's is probably like it's a staple of Texas. If you're going to have corn dog, Fletcher's is it. But
Well, yeah, I get it, but you'd have to get at the fair. Like, I mean, I don't want
I
to
think
get
that's what makes it.
I don't want to get a Nathan's hot dog here at Walmart or something.
No.
If I got to go to New York and have a better one.
Or just going in like a hot dog that you can get at the Rangers, at the ballpark
Yeah.
versus a hot dog that you can grill at your house. Yeah, they're the same, but it's that experience. It's being there. It's all part of it. And I think that's what kills it a little bit. I mean, yeah, cool. I got a Fletcher's corn dog. Yay.
It's like going to China for pizza. What?
I'm just waiting for something stupid that you're gonna say. For pizza, okay.
You watch it? You said watch
I
it.
said watch it. You usually like say something so stupid,
But
they're gonna hack us. All right,
we did learn something about the state fair though, and for the first time ever, they're
Yeah.
going to be a drive-through.
Yeah.
Did you know this?
Yeah, I saw it this morning on Fox 4.
Yeah, so we looked about a week
I'm
or
sorry,
two ago.
we don't watch the fucking
Yeah.
news.
Oh, well, shout out to all the...
Well, first off, who the fuck watches Fox 4?
First off, second off, how old are you?
Yeah.
Old enough to party.
So I looked a couple of weeks ago. Whenever we were looking to do this episode and making sure we had the right content. And our buddy Mike the Bike went to Community Brewery, which we have got a fantastic beer here. If we want to go ahead and crack them open, but it's from Community Brewery there in Dallas. Yeah, let's crack them.
Oh, good.
Yeah. there you
Sorry,
go.
Tim.
Y'all's are better than mine.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So it's a funnel cake ale from Community Beer Co. there in Dallas. That is, it kind of brings to mind the days of the Ferris wheel rides, cotton candy covered fingers, and ring tossed games.
Okay, let me just say that if you say that this is not cold enough, you're a fucking liar.
Yeah,
It's cold. Goddamn,
dude, it's
Tim.
frosty.
Because there's like ice inside of
prick.
it.
It's like a slush.
This actually looks like Big Tex's shirt if you look at it close enough. Like it says "Cheers, folks" up top. You know.
Yeah, so like when we were looking, when Mike said he was going to get these beers for us, we were thinking about like, man, it would be great to get some like state fair type foods because we're not going to be able to go to the Texas State Fair. And I had Googled the Texas State Fair, and they're like, "We'll see you next year, right? We're going to see you next year around
Just
this time."
on you.
Yeah, and so there's been a couple of promos out there about Golden Chicks. We went ahead and got the corn dog and the funnel cake. But we looked again, and apparently starting at the beginning of October, no, take that back. At the last weekend of September, all the way through October, there's going to be a drive-through situation going on the Texas State Fair. Or the State Fair of Texas, which is awesome. So for like, what was it, $100?
$100.
It was just not bad. You get to drive through the State Fair. You get various foods for like 3 to 4 people, drinks, a picture with big text, all of this stuff as you're driving through the park. And so you best believe, Javier, that we're going to be doing this within the next month.
You best believe, Javier, that you can't drink beer in your car while you drive through there.
Texas OU weekend still going on, and they're going to have you have to have a ticket to go through, and they're going to have this exact thing over there. You have to stay masked up though. So
Texas OU weekend, they always do it at the Cotton Bowl, which is on the fairgrounds. It's they talked about moving it at one point, but I mean they've been doing that for so many years that I think it would be a travesty if they did.
they're gonna keep they're gonna be real strict about it, which I mean it makes sense. But they're gonna have like the capacity is gonna be cut down by 1 billion people. You know?
and
There's not over a billion people in there.
Yeah, there is. Haven't you ever been to the underground gladiator shafts?
No, we have not.
Well, have you ever seen the shaft, like the shaft of a penis? You son of a bit.
Moving on.
Did you cut him off?
I should have. But yeah, so I mean, it is going to be. I mean, everything this year has been fucked, and it's all different. And
God, let's be positive.
let's not be positive for a second
Everything's
here.
been fucked.
Everything's
It's
been fucked.
over.
Womp womp.
But here's the deal. We're making the best of it, and we get to drive through the state fair.
Who's
and we
making the
get-
best of it? You
we-
were just saying how fucked everything
I said everything
was.
is fucked, but we're going to make the best of it.
It's not making the best of it, though, right?
Well, no, for us, we are making the best of it, but for the world that fucked it,
you're just going in circles.
listen here.
Chad brought it back with him.
We're going to make the best of it.
God
We're
damn
going to
it.
go and ride through, and we're going to eat the foods, and we encourage all of you fine folks to do the same thing. But if not, you can live vicariously through us because we're going to fucking do it.
Yeah, so in the next couple of weeks, we're going to drive through and come back with our entire experience of going through the State Fair of Texas, which is pretty exciting.
it's going to be an
Oh, my God.
I tasted fucking funnel cake in that, dude.
Well, you're drinking a funnel cake beer.
It's going to
and
be
you
an
had a funnel cake earlier.
it'll be an
And
old
it was-
experience.
It was still disgusting.
Yeah.
It's going to be an old experience, but a new experience.
Well, you know what's a good time when you're having a new experience? You never really know in a new experience.
But whenever it's an old new experience, because we've been to the state fair before, but this is a different type of state fair. It's
which makes it a new experience.
I'm so fucking confused.
In a new experience, you're going to have a good time. You know you're going to have a great time because there's a new experience.
But I think you're going
know what to
for new experiences, I think you're going to have a good time.
Right?
New experiences, you have good times.
Yeah, because you don't know what to expect in a new experience, right?
No, yeah.
You're just going to have a good time.
Yeah.
But you know what?
New experiences.
But we've been having good times, and we've also been supporting local. That's one of our new things. Like when I say new things, it's one of the things we've been doing this entire time is trying to support and bring up local businesses. And you know what? I and myself and Chad here have created a little spot for a local business, and I'm going to go ahead and run it.
There's been a lot of storms recently, so
there has been, and let's go ahead and run this.
Oh no. That's not good.
What's wrong, Chad?
Dude, it's hailing outside and my car is getting pelted. I'm going to have dents and dings galore. Whatever shall I do?
Man, you got to see Javier at Quality Paintless Dent Removal in the Foundry District of Fort Worth. He'll get this fixed up real nice.
Really? I just don't know if I can afford that. It's getting really dinged up. That's got to be expensive.
That doesn't matter. He will work with your insurance directly to make sure you are taken care of. And with more than 20 years experience, you're in good hands with Quality Paintless Dent Removal.
You know what? I think I'm going to go see him now. Thanks, Tim.
Quality Paintless Dent Removal, a family-owned and operated auto body shop in Fort Worth, Texas, that's been serving and satisfying customers for more than 20 years. Come see us at 2821 Whitmore Street in Fort Worth, Texas. Quality Paintless Dent Removal. Small repairs with a big difference.
And we're back with the Funky Panther podcast.
Thank you for joining us on NPR.
What do you think about that promo, Javier?
My face hurts. Fucking smiling so much. I fucking love it.
So we've brought up the travelingo.com several times. And
100 times.
100 times, man. They've sponsored these episodes and whatnot. And now we have never shouted out Quality Paintless Dent Removal.
18 episodes in.
18 episodes in, and we're using the house of one of the employees of Quality Paintless Dent Removal.
Hi, folks.
And so... yeah, we just wanted to do something nice for you,
What do you think? We want your initial thoughts of that amazing.
I sent it to my dad, and he called me, and he's like, "Yeah, they forgot the phone number."
Oh no!
Thanks, Dad.
It's real easy if you just
the address though.
You did, yeah, you did.
if you just look it up. If you're in Fort Worth, you got some dents, go see Quality Paintless Dent Removal. They'll take care of you.
And now, if you go ahead and use the phrase keyword the Funky Panther, you'll get 10% off any dent repair you would like done.
Dang.
Just throwing that offer right now.
That's right off the top, huh?
Wait a second. So if
You know what? No. You know what? Let's make it 25%.
25%,
Whoa.
dude.
25% off. Funky
25%.
Panther.
If you come into Quality Paintless Dent Removal over off of Whitmore Street in Fort Worth, Texas, you say the Funky Panther sent me. Guess what? You're getting 25% off.
Yeah, that just came off the top of the head, didn't it?
Man.
It really did.
That's pretty good.
That's us helping our listeners.
Look
So
at
if you're
me.
local,
Oh.
man, and you got some dents, which, most people do, you can park in a parking lot, you get, door dinged. They'll take care of you.
817-332-4123. Again, that's 817-332-4123.
Something else that's been coming up, though,
Penises?
is, after we talk about this next little segment here, my
Cool,
penis is
cool.
probably going to be up.
All right.
Breakfast foods, because that gets me hard.
Yes. I love
And
breakfast
I'll
foods.
tell you, so Fort Worth's got a lot of wonderful breakfast spots here that everybody should check out. And I'm going to start it off with, if you haven't been to the Paris Coffee Shop over off of Magnolia Street, then you have missed out on some great, great food. Just old school cafe style place. They've got some killer Belgian waffles. That's my go-to. I don't really like pancakes so much, but Belgian waffles is my thing.
Yeah, I want to go ahead and shout out Eric Gonzalez out there, who asked the question on Instagram, saying, "Hey, man, what breakfast foods are out there for Fort Worth?" And that's really what got the conversation going. So shout out to you, buddy. Appreciate you. But
I'm sorry for jumping right in there and just like bypassing Mr. Gonzalez.
Tim
there,
don't give
so.
a shit. So yeah, I think that there's a ton of places in Fort Worth that are worth checking out. But it's crazy, especially now that we can start going to places again. You start rethinking about like what is good, and I think it's definitely a valid question, right? Like what's good for brunch, what's good for breakfast.
Like I think the thing is like if you're looking for just like straight up breakfast food, you're not wanting alcohol. You know, that's one category. But if you're wanting like the whole mimosas and the Bloody Marys and all that stuff, that's a whole totally different subject.
Yeah. We went to this place called Snooze, which I assumed was similar, where it didn't have a whole alcohol situation going on. But there's a Snooze right off of 7th Street area, like really close to Chewy's. And not only is the food great, because the food is awesome. They do a great job of social distancing. You can put your name on the list and then leave because they'll send you a text message whenever it's your turn to go, because usually there's a wait. But all the alcoholic drinks are good. The mimosas are good. They've got like an alcoholic coffee situation that's really good. But overall, recently, I think that's probably one of my favorite spots at Snooze.
Man, I didn't even know that place existed. I've never even heard of Snooze.
Yeah, it's like right behind, what is that, Tom Thumb?
It's in the same
Yeah,
area,
Tom Thumb,
Left
yeah.
Bank, next door to Left Bank.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really good stuff.
Okay.
Esperanza's also is over there by in front of Joe T. Garcia's.
Oh yeah,
Joe T's.
Old school
dude, it's
Fort Worth.
it's
Old
dude
school
straight.
Fort Worth
So
stock
Joe
yards.
T's and Esperanza's same people, I believe. Yeah,
Same people.
And Esperanza's is the one who make. If you like those cookies that you get at Joe T's, Esperanza's Bakery, which is Esperanza's restaurant, that's where they make them. So
Yeah, I mean, Joe T's is great and all, like the margaritas are amazing, but Esperanza's, they have all day good food. The breakfast there is amazing. The chilaquiles are great. They have amazing migas.
I always get their burritos, and they feel like they're probably like 3 pounds.
They're huge,
Yeah.
and the portions are big. The tortillas are delicious. I mean, like you said, they have a bakery over there that has like fresh pan dulce. Ugh, what more can you say?
For the non-Spanish people or Mexicans,
Mexican
whatever,
sweet
yeah.
bread,
Mexican sweetbread. Okay,
very delicious.
Yum.
that's the ones that like have like the red and like the pink or whatever.
There's
like,
plenty
yeah.
of. There's
Yeah.
more. There's many kinds. Like they have marranitos, the little,
Gingerbread.
Yeah, gingerbread. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
little
what.
pigs.
Yeah, little
Yum, yum.
piggy. What else? What else? Other breakfast spots you like?
One of my favorite like old school spots is Oscar's Pub off of Camp Bowie. They've got like I think you pay for the food, which is, I don't know, like $15-20, something like that. And then you also pay for a mimosa unlimited situation for another $10-15. And so overall you're paying, I don't know, $20 or $30, but like the food is great. Like the waffles, they've got all these different like eggs, Benedict and different things with eggs and Mexican meals and stuff like that. But then you've got nonstop mimosas and
Nonstop food.
poinsettias. And
Yeah.
it's just like for the food's great. Like for the quality of food is good. And they usually do mostly champagne in those drinks.
But it's been like you can easily spend like 2 hours, they're just eating, drinking, and having a good time.
Yeah, and the place is pretty small, so like you're getting yourself into a pretty cool little spot when you don't have like 100 people hanging out. It's pretty low key, and they also have some outside sitting area, which is pretty neat too.
Pro tip would be they get there early so you can get yourself a nice spot, because if you get there late, they do fill up and it kind of sucks. But
Right.
That just shows like the type of place it is, because it is really good. It's a small spot and they do fill up. So
Yep.
get there early.
Yeah. Another one that I like, we've been biking, especially in the summertime, spring, summer, fall. We like to bike a lot during on the weekends, and so we'll go from my apartment over in the right off Trinity River, and we'll bike about 5 miles up to Woodshed, and then have some drinks and some food. And as much as I hate saying that I like a place that Tim Love created, really like Woodshed, just because the placement, the food's really good. They usually have pretty good drinks. I did notice that don't ever get a pitcher. Don't get a pitcher of Poinsettia or a pitcher of the Paloma or a pitcher of beer, because when you think about it mathematically, it never makes sense. Just get an individual drink and you're going to be paying less for some reason than like a pitcher. But the food's good, the drinks are good, and it's right off the river. So the location is really, you can't beat
They try to make it sound like a good deal.
Right.
And on a business standpoint, you know what? Fuck your customers, right?
They do a really good job of
fucking their customers or what?
their customers. They ask you what kind of lube do you want, and you want to go with like bacon flavor. You want to get like a cherry mimosa flavor.
It's very sweet and sensual.
So I'd like to see who's fucking me before they screw me over.
But during COVID and stuff, they take your temperature. They make sure you write down your email. Like they do all of these really good things to make sure that they're keeping their people safe. So I do really appreciate that. Everything except for Tim Love, I love about that place.
I'm getting a little tired of the temperature taking and the masks and all that stuff. But
hey,
you know what? I think
safe.
everybody else is.
Hey, birds aren't real. Birds aren't real.
What? Birds are not real?
No.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Birds are not real.
Government conspiracy.
Oh my God.
Charging stations. That's where they're always on the power poles.
Is this a thing?
Yeah.
Well,
Birds
you
aren't
heard it
real.
here. You heard it here first on the Funky Panther podcast.
Turn that music off. Turn that fucking music off. Are we done with breakfast foods?
I mean,
We went through like 3 or 4 breakfast food spots.
Daybreak Cafe. Old
Daybreak
South,
is great.
Old South Pancake
You
House.
can't beat Old South.
well, fuck me then.
Chewy's in River Oaks.
Yeah.
Shoney's.
Hot Box Biscuit right off of Main Street. Dude, that
Is that
place
like
is legit.
Is it sexual or what?
Biscuit Bar just opened up in like the new Mule.
I'm gonna get in your hot box.
Was it like the Mule Street or Mule area over in the stockyard? That place, have not been able to eat there yet, but we did stop there for a beer, and everything on their menu looked amazing.
Turn off that fucking music, Tim. God, Chad. Fucking prick.
You know what? I think we're done with breakfast foods now.
Oh my God. Hey, go Stars. We made it to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Hey.
The Mavericks, unfortunately, we didn't beat the Clippers because they're cheating cunts.
Oh my God.
Can you bleep that? We're going to be demonetized if we say that?
I don't think we're monetized at all. So it's all good, man.
Bunch of dirty.
All right, so if you like what you're
dirty
listening
cunts.
to, I'm not going to get into all social media because you all know where we are. Go follow us on anything at the Funky Panther.
Hey, but real quick, the ones that you don't know that you might not remember is OnlyFans, and Patreon. But everything else, same name.
Onlyfans.com/The Funky Panther.
And if anything, we really appreciate you going on, giving us a like, giving us a comment on whatever it is that you're listening to us on our podcast with. But please, please, please go and tell a few friends about us. If you like what you're listening to, we would love to pull in a couple more fans that like our stupid ass voices. So tell a few people about us. That would go a very long way to continue to have us promoting and moving forward with the podcast. So tell some people.
Yeah, we want to keep bringing you this fire content that you fucks with.
Yeah, I fucks with this.
I fucks with this.
I fucks with this.
And I'm Chad.
I'm Javier.
And I'm Tim.
And we are
The Funky Panther!
It's getting better, guys. Getting better. Episode 20 coming soon.
Well, I mean, a couple more.
Yeah,
but
eat my ass, whatever.